It's time for bookkeeping, beer, and BS.
Best practices for communication. Can you see if is Slack the next thing? Because that's basically what I'm going to talk about.
We don't use Slack. Is that a problem? Should we start using Slack?
I fought Slack for a long time.
I can't even figure out how to open it up, Mel. I'm like Slack
that
illiterate.
Is what a virtual assistant is for. They can set that up for you. But so the first thing I want to say about daily communication, you want to be communicating with your VA a lot. In the beginning, a mistake that people make is they won't communicate more than like once a week. Sometimes with VAs, there's a complete disconnect. And just like with any employee, they have to be held accountable to the work they're doing. It's very easy for somebody to feel like, oh, I'm not doing anything. Why am I wasting my time? Because there's a time difference. They're staying up all night to do the work that we ask them to do. So it's hard. If they are not doing anything for you, but once in a blue moon, they might get a second job because they're like, it doesn't matter. But if you hold them accountable, people have a lot of integrity there. Establish a daily communication routine. I'm always in contact with Zoe and my team through Slack. And the reason I like Slack is because we have lots of different ways to communicate on there. You want to make sure also that you have an end of day channel. So one of the things is, how do you know if your VA is doing the work? I don't like to micromanage people. There are time apps that you can get that will show you screenshots of the work they're doing, but I don't like that. It's kind of like starting your relationship with no trust. What I do like is having everybody write in the same Slack channel what they've completed at the end of the day, links to every document that they created right in that end of day list. And you can really see what people are doing. It's very transparent, and they'll take the time and they'll write it out. It might take 10 minutes of their day to really make a good list, but then you're kind of holding them accountable. If you never ask for that, or if it's not a part of your routine, you're not going to get it. And then later when there's a trust issue, you're going to be like, wait a minute, I don't know what they're doing all day. Are they even doing anything? And that's when trust starts to go away. Mm-hmm. So starting right away with that, after 2 weeks, you don't have to talk to them all the time or even every day, but the standard will be evident at that point. It'll be established. Mm-hmm. And then culture takes over, right? That I don't remember who says that, but whatever you do in those first couple weeks, or if you don't do anything, that's going to be what happens for the rest of the time. It is really hard to reset a relationship with the VA after, because there are feelings at that point involved. And the first time that you don't do what you say you're going to do in that reset, it's going to backslide right back to what it was. Mm-hmm. Okay, go to the next slide, please, because I want to make sure I don't miss anything. Keep going. Tracking. I did this one just now. So we just have a fun chat that everybody checks in first thing in the morning and says good morning to everybody. That's how I...
So what time are your VAs working? Are they working when you're working, so it's kind of overnight for them, or do you have them work during their daytime, so that's their daytime, or...
I have them working on my time, and most people do. You have to think about it like this. In the Philippines, you can spend an hour and a half in traffic going to a job where you're going to work 10 hours, and then an hour and a half back home for very little pay. Or you can work from home. You can work all night, still have time for your kids during the day or whoever to have your own life. So they're making a choice to work overnight. I used to feel very guilty about this, and now I understand it's just a way of life. Okay. And it allows them a better life.
Yeah, I felt weird about that. I think even on your questionnaire that I filled out, it asked like, what are your expectations from time? And I was like, I don't want to make them work overnight. Like, I think, and this was my thought is, for me, the big thing is like, when I jump on a computer in the morning, I want things to be caught up. So I could see them working like a few hours before, and I'm usually up and at it and like on the computer by like 6 a.m. Yes. So I could see them maybe jumping on at like 4 a.m. doing a bunch of stuff and then overlapping with me in the morning.
Yes.
And then by the afternoon, I don't really need. That's
perfect. You might change your mind too, and that's okay, because you guys can.
I never change my mind. No, you're right. Sometimes I do. Okay.
But I used to
get
have
it. That was a joke. Do you get it? Did you get that? That was a joke.
Yeah.
No? Okay.
No, I did.
Okay.
As much as Zoe did. Yeah, we laughed like crazy.
Oh, yeah.
It was a real joke.
Sweet.
So with that though, I used to have my VA come about start an hour before me, because like you, I want my emails to be ready. I want a list of all the things that are, ready to go, like everything's up to date. So I have like a fresh start. And what I used to do is I would spend 10 hours in the morning on email and suddenly it's noon, which is weird math, but it works.
Yeah.
In Melody's
so
world.
You start working at 2 a.m. Sounds good.
Yep. And then I suddenly am like, where did all my time go? And my brain is so nice in the morning. I can do anything. And then once 12-1 hits, like I'm dead.
All I'm good for in the afternoon is making some shows and drinking some beer.
Right. And so what I found though, is that a lot of my time now is spent doing things in the afternoon. So I'm starting now I don't actually have a real start. To be honest, I'm guided by my feelings sometimes, but Zoe always you start at 9, right? Yeah. Everybody else in our team starts at 8. She starts at 9 because I want her to be there till 5. Mm-hmm. And so that helps me at the end of the day when suddenly I remember all the things I forgot to talk about or do that day. She can like quickly help me get it all together. So it's not an emergency. So it's really a personal choice. But you can always adjust it as time goes on. VAs, as long as you are saying up front, like this may change, but let's try it like this for 30 days and see how it goes. Or like one of the questions we asked, do you think there'll be overtime? Most people will be like, I don't think so. But when I started with Dean in the beginning, I said, I don't think I'll have more than 20 hours of work for you a week. And within 3 weeks, she was working 50 hours a week. Once I saw what she could do, it opened my brain and I was like, everything,
Yeah.
So,
and what about this? And how about this? And here's another thing that you might like to do.
Because your brain is going to open up. Once your emails are out of the way and you have more space to think, suddenly your ideas are you're gonna have less of that drain, which by the way, again, I still experience all of the same things, even with an EVA, even with a team, and we're helping other people do this. If you want to experience that freedom, you have to do the work. I'm in the middle of the work. So, but it really helps.
Hey, what's up, business nerd? Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you learned a heck of a lot watching that episode. Do me a favor, subscribe right down here. And if you really like what you saw, you got more goods right here. Check out this one or check out this one and do this. Go subscribe. Appreciate you. Work smarter, work harder. Go earn yourself some pride. Catch you on the next one.